Let me start by saying if you have been showing up, if you've been posting consistently, if you're showing up in all the places, if you're doing all the right things, if you are doing everything that you have been told to do, and you're still hearing crickets, it's not just you. You're not alone, you're not lazy, you're not invisible, and you're definitely not behind. You are just unclear. And if you're unclear, then your audience is unclear. And if your audience is unclear, they're not buying. If what you're posting is not aligned with the offer that you have or what your audience is hearing, then they're not going to buy. If there's that gap, if there's that disconnect, you've lost your audience, you've lost your sales, you've lost your clients. And I've had women come up to me and say, "Hey, Matilda, I know my stuff. I know what I do. I'm really good at what I do, but somehow I'm not getting the sales that I desire." And my answer is always that it is not necessarily your visibility. It is your clarity. It's your message. And so today I'm going to unpack how a lack of clarity is the reason that your visibility efforts are not turning into the sales that you desire. So if you've been posting, if you have been showing up, whether it's a blog, whether it's your Facebook lives, whether it's your content on social media, whatever platform you're on, however you are showing up, if you're doing that and you're not seeing the sales that you desire, this episode is for you. So let's get started. What you've heard people say, just be consistent. When I started out, one of my coaches continuously used to drill it in. She'd say, content is king, consistency is queen. And what she meant was that, like the content is king part, it's like you need content. You need to be seen, right? You need to have content. And consistency is consistency. It's like always be posting, always be top of mind, always be in front, like just always keep going. And I would always ask, like I always ask questions, and I'd always be like, hey, but consistent doing what? Right? Because if I'm just being consistent, right, and I'm just posting content and I'm just being in all the places, but I don't have the clarity, then it leads to burnout. And it did lead to burnout, right? So what posting without clarity looks like is where you're not known for anything specific. It's where your audience can't tell if what you're saying is for them, right? And it's where you are attracting people who just scroll, but they don't buy. Right. Now, if you think about it, if you are posting, right, consistently, but you don't have clarity, then this looks like today you're talking about health and wellness. Tomorrow you're talking about motivation. The next day you're talking about cars. The day after that you have a post and it's about cats. And the following day it's politics. And your audience is coming to your page and they're like, what? Uh, there are many places where they can say, this is not for me. This person is not for me. This offer is not for me. Or they don't even understand what your offer is, right? You're confusing your audience and you look confused. And if you look confused, you're not building your authority. You're not building the trust. And your audience is not understanding what you're about. So they are not buying. They are not staying. And so you constantly need to bring in new people because you're losing the people that you are gaining, right? So every time you make a post and you get new people, you lose them with your next post because your next post has no relation to your previous post. And so the people that came when you were talking about wellness, they come again and they find you talking about politics and they're like, nah, not for me. I'm out, right? So this is where I have an issue with copy paste posts because you are given a script and it's like go and post this on social media and you will get results. And if you are not given the tools to align that content with your offer, to align that content with your audience, and all you have is a post that you just copy and paste, it's not built for your audience. It's not built for your offer. And that is how that disconnect happens, right? And so people come to your page and you have this lovely post that somebody else wrote, but it's not for you. It's not for you. It's not for your audience. And so your people read, if they read it, if they read the whole thing, they watch your video if they're watching, and then the next thing they're like, okay, and then and they're gone, right? You only have 8 seconds to. You actually don't have 8 seconds. You have 8 seconds if somebody already knows you. You have 3 seconds if somebody does not know you. And in those 3 seconds, if what you are saying is not connecting with who they are, what they need, what they're there for, you've lost them. Okay? So, what you want to take away from this is that consistency without clarity causes content fatigue. Your audience is tired of following you, of listening to you because you're not saying anything that makes sense, because you are all over the place, and you are tired because you are constantly going and not gaining the traction that you are trying to get. Okay. So you need to get clear about who you are, what you do, who you serve, and how to communicate your offer. The next thing is people don't buy because they understand you. They buy because they feel understood, right? So if your dream clients are confused and they don't understand what you're talking about, they're not interested. They will not connect with your message. So once you have clarity about um who you are, who you serve, what you offer, and how to communicate your offer, the next thing that you want to do is understand how to help your audience feel seen in what you are saying. Okay. So think of it this way. If you are in the social media space, instead of saying I help women grow on social media, you could instead say I help women get paid through the content that actually converts. Make sense? Do you see the difference? So you want your audience to very clearly see themselves in what you are saying. I have gone through this process because when I started out in the online space, I think my very first tagline was I help you uh be more, do more, have more, right? And it's like, okay, help me, help who? You who? Like anybody? Like, do I help men who are looking at retirement? Do I help corporate leaders? Do I add like C-suite executives? Do I help stay-at-home moms? Like that EU is just so broad, right? And so my audience had to do the work for themselves to kind of like weed through my stuff to figure out if it was for them. And let me tell you, people are not doing that work. You have to do that work and be very clear about who you're helping. So make sure that you are using language that helps them connect with what you are saying. So from when I was saying I help you be more, do more, have more, I had to do the work and figure out like help who, right? And so it was I help women. And then I was like, I help women start a business, right? And I was like, okay, start a business, but like, am I starting helping you start a farming business? Are we doing like a Target franchise? Like, what kind of business are we talking about, right? And then I had to get clear on that, right? And look, I help women start an online business, and it's like, okay, start an online business. Like, what kind of online business? And then I was like, actually, I had to get clear again. And I was like, actually, what I do is I give you the strategies and the systems for you to grow and scale, to launch and grow your online business in the nooks and crannies of your day, right? But again, I had to get clearer on that. And now I say, I help female entrepreneurs get seen, get leads, and get sales in less time so they can be present for those they love most, right? Now, with what I have now, when you hear that, you understand that if you want your visibility to um, if you want your visibility to pan into sales, I'm your girl. If you want people to talk to, I'm your girl. If you want sales, if you want more sales, if you want more people getting in touch with you, and if you want more sales conversations, I am your girl, right? So that's clearer. I mean, people will still ask questions, but the outcome is already clear. You know exactly what results I am going to get for you, and they make sense to the people who need them, right? So you want to remember that clear messaging creates confident buyers. When your buyers understand exactly what it is that you're offering and how it helps them, they will buy. Okay? Now, the third thing is if someone is showing up on your content and they're loving it, and you're seeing people engage and, continuously show up, but they are not signing up for the thing that you're offering, like they're ghosting you when it comes to your offer, they're not getting to your sales page, they are not coming into the DMs, they are not downloading the resources that you are offering, they are not booking the calls, then the problem is not your service. It's a messaging gap. And a messaging gap is when what you are saying is not what your audience is hearing. The words that you are using are not clearly defining what you offer in a way that your audience understands, right? So what you want is for your content to build the bridge between what you offer and what your audience needs, right? So I'll say this another way. Your content builds a bridge between your audience's problem and the solution you provide, right? Build that bridge. Okay. If you are not building that bridge, then again, people are not buying. And I will give you an example. This is my favorite example. I give this all the time, but it's not my field. So let's have some fun. If you are going down a really busy highway, think 8 lanes, like lots of cars, like traffic jam level traffic traffic jam level traffic. Anyway, you can tell I don't live in big cities. But anyway, imagine that really busy highway, right? And as you're driving down the highway, there's this really big billboard. And that billboard has a sign that says, "We fix carburetors." Now that sounds good and well. This person they have the visibility because they are in prime location, right? And they have prime location because they are on a busy highway, on a busy section of the highway. They are like thousands of cars that are going through that section daily. They are getting seen, right? But what they're saying is, "We fix carburetors," right? Which is well and good. But here I am driving down the highway and my car is going clickety, clackety, clickety, clackety, clickety, clackety, clickety, clackety. And I'm not sure as I'm hearing that sound, is it my car? Is it the car beside me? Is it my engine? Is my window just not closed properly and I'm just hearing some like echoey sound of some sort? Is it maybe like my wheel has a rock stuck in it and that is what is making that clickety clackety sound? Is it the road? Like maybe there's somebody who, like maybe one of the vehicles ahead spilled something and so we're just passing through a really crunchy section of the road. Like what is making that sound? I have no idea. And your billboard says, "We fix carburetors." You have not built a bridge between me, who needs your service, and the service that you're providing. I'm driving down the highway, I'm hearing clickety clack, I look at that billboard and I just keep driving. You have not built the bridge, right? Now, building the bridge could look like saying, If your car is going clickety clack, then come see us, right? Building the bridge could look like understanding that a person who still defines the problem as clickety clack is not ready to immediately pay for the service. So instead, you might in your content give suggestions on, say, if your car is going clickety clack, these are some of the things that it could be, right? Because you understand that the person who still defines the problem as clickety clack is still in a space where they need to do more research to understand what the problem is before they take it to the mechanic, right? They might not even know, like I said, is it just the dirty road? Is it somebody else's car? I might not even know if I need a mechanic at this point. So your content must be tailored to me where I am in the buyer journey. And we will talk about the buyer journey in more detail. But your content needs to be tailored to where I am in the buyer journey so that I understand what I need to focus on first, right? So your content could look like saying, if your car is going clickety clack, here are some of the issues that it might be. And then you list several different issues because now you've given your client, your audience, something that they need in that moment, right? If they move into a new stage of if they move into a new stage of the buyer journey, they might be ready to find solutions for, they might have narrowed down what the issue is, right? And so you might give them several solutions to the problem, right? So if your car is going clickety clack, the first thing was if your car is going clickety clack, you gave them options. They have narrowed down that it is the carburetor. And so the next piece of content could be, if your carburetor is having issues, here are some issues that it could be, right? So then you list out the certain, then you give information about the different types of issues that the carburetor could be having and help them narrow down what the issue is. Another piece of content when they're in a different stage of the buyer journey is if your car is having issues with the carburetor, here are the ways that it could get fixed. Like you could do it yourself, you could get somebody else to fix it. I fix carburetors. This is where your statement, I fix carburetors, becomes aligned with your offer and what your audience is ready to hear. That's the place to say that. But there are other ways to connect with your audience without being, without, there are, there are other steps to build the bridge to get your audience to the point where they are ready to buy. That word was not coming out. Where they're ready to buy, right? So you need to understand as you are writing content, as you are talking to your audience, whether you're doing a live, whether you're doing a podcast, blog, whatever it is, you need to understand that if there is a gap between what you are saying, what your solution is, and what your audience problem is, if your message is not bridging that gap, you are not going to get sales, right? So remember that you need to align your message with your offer so that you make your sales seamless. So this week, I want you to take an audit of your content and do these things. First, you are going to take a look at your last week's content and you are going to ask yourself, is this clear? Would my dream client get it? And then you are going to assess, is my content transformation focused? Does my audience understand what they gain from working with me? And the next thing that you're going to assess is, am I using their language or mine? Does my audience see the bridge between their problem and my solution and what I am offering? Am I using language that they understand? Am I using the language that they are using in their day-to-day conversations to convey the message of my solution? I'm so glad that you have taken the time to be here for this episode, because it's not just about being in all the places, right? Like being consistent is not just about being in all the places all the time. It's about creating content that you are absolutely clear on so that your content is building that bridge between your offer and your audience problem. And your audience is also clear about how you help them. So if you want more strategies like this, then definitely come back and hang out with me. And don't forget to take the quiz at thepresentceo.com/quiz so you can see exactly where the gaps are in your business, see what's holding your business back, and what is stopping those sales. I'm so glad that you were here for this, and I look forward to seeing you here again. Until next time, have a good one.